Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special broadcast. And let me explain to you why this broadcast is taking place. It's a kind of spur-of-the-moment thing. That's how we do things here at the brand. We have a show on our channel. It's called Dirty Talk with Sarah Russi. Now, Sarah Russi is a lingerie model that I discovered a couple of months ago. And, Jeff Lane at that time told me that Sarah Russi wasn't real, that I was being catfished. Remember that, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. Just being cautious.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I didn't want to believe Jeff because this Sarah Russi was emailing me back and forth, DMing me back and forth, and I believed that she was the real deal. And listen, her picture looked absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I'm talking Victoria's Secret's caliber, unbelievable gorgeous. And, Jeff kept laughing at me, said I was making a fool out of myself. So I booked Sarah for an interview to come on the show, and Sarah came on the show. And, Sarah, please say a few words now so people can see what you look like.
Hey, what's up?
Now, you see, that is Sarah Russi, the beautiful Sarah Russi. You see, Jeff, I wasn't catfished.
Yes, I know. And luckily, she is the real deal. She is as beautiful as she is in her photos, and obviously charismatic. She's got her own show now. So, Sarah, tell them about the first episode before we get into what this show we're doing right now is. But for anybody who hasn't seen the first episode of Dirty Talk, why don't you fill them in on what's out there?
Well, I filmed an episode with Mike from Alien Ant Farm, and I interviewed him in my lingerie.
And Sarah, in wrestling we call it a gimmick. Wrestlers have a gimmick. So pretty much your gimmick is that you bring people on your show and you interview them in your lingerie. Is that not right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I got to tell you something too, Jeff. I produced Sarah's first show because she wasn't sure how to do it, and I produced it with Mike Cosgrove, and I watched the whole interview. And I think for her first interview, I think Sarah did a tremendous job. She asked a lot of great questions. Mike was a great guest. We put it up, Dirty Talk with Sarah Russi, on our station, and the response was really, really good. Sarah, how do you think that first interview went?
I think it went well, and I think it got like a lot of views.
Yeah, no, it definitely got a lot of views. But Sarah, now since then, we've had a little issue of getting guests for your show. Would you mind talking to us about that a little bit?
So I just have been asking people, and I guess it's been hard to schedule things, or a lot of people don't get back to me when I ask them to do the show.
Now, Sarah, let me ask you this: the people that you've contacted, do you know them personally? Do you know them through Twitter? I mean, what's your relationship with these people that you've tried to bring on as guests?
Well, some of them I don't think I've met most of them. I've just been messaging people on Twitter, and a friend of mine told me to try IMDb Pro and sign up for that and contact people's agents.
But okay, so Sarah, basically then what you're saying is a lot of people that you've been in contact. Now I know you met Mike. You met Mike at a bar. You told that story, so he knew who you were. But a lot of people that you're contacting, basically they just know you through Twitter, like we met you. So in other words, there's a good chance that they may think they're getting catfished. Is that correct?
I don't know, I guess.
Because basically all they're seeing is your picture. They never really saw the real you.
Well, I think my Twitter looks legit. I have my website listed on my Twitter.
Jeff, what do you think about that concept? Could that be part of the issue here? Because you didn't believe her picture, Jeff.
Well, the only issue is there's a lot of fake profiles with beautiful women, and I'm sure they steal them from the real Twitter accounts. So somebody like I did, anytime I see a beautiful woman Twitter deal, I'm always cautious if it's real or not. So maybe that's the deal. In that case, I would just send them the link to watch the first episode. You know what I mean? This is me. This is my
Great
first
idea.
show. And
See, Sarah, that's a great idea. Right, go ahead, Jeff. Finish up.
no, that was basically it. Just send them the link. Here's the interview I did with Mike from Alien Ant Farm. It's my first episode. I'd like to have you as a guest on a future show.
That's what I've been doing. I've been like sending them the link.
Oh, see, okay, so Sarah, because that is a great idea, because first of all, they get to see that it's really you. They get to see that it's legit. They get to see that you're a good interview. You know, Mike Cosgrove obviously was somebody, Alien Ant Farm. Everybody knows who that is. So you have been sending them the link.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you send them the link, then what happens from there?
I either don't hear back or they tell me they don't know when they can do it.
And then it's a listen, Sarah. I have the same problem, and me and you we texted each other back and forth. It's a pain in the backside, really trying to track these people down and set up a date. And I mean, it's a pain in the neck. I mean, I think you're finding out firsthand. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff, what do you think? Do you have any more advice for Sarah? How do we help Sarah get guests? We have a big brand following. People in the brand know people. Your buddy Kent, knows a ton of people. We got our boy Zach from Man Overboard. He knows other musicians. Jeff, help us put a game plan in place here for Sarah.
Well, one thing I've noticed, especially with our Vixen show, is the brand themselves are helping us generate guests. What they do is they tweet a certain, person, like who got one of the brand members got us that Melanie girl. Remember?
Right.
I think it was Luke, and he tweeted, "You should have her on. She should be a guest on Vixens." And then she saw the tweet. We saw the tweet. You got in contact with her. So a lot of our guests come from actual brand suggestions. So brand, if there's a guest you want to see on Sarah's show, tweet that guest. Tag Sarah in the tweet and say, "We would love to see you on Dirty Talk with Sarah Russi at VinceRussoBrand.com." That's one suggestion, I think, that could help generate guests. I'm having an issue with myself with a very good friend of mine, so I completely understand how hard it is.
Now, Sarah, let me ask you this. Sarah, I went through on your Twitter page, right, Sarah? You've got some beautiful, beautiful professional modeling pictures of yourself, really well done, really in good taste. Maybe you should work Twitter a little bit more and say, "Listen, hi, my name is Sarah Russi. Your Twitter address. I do a podcast on the Realm Network. Put that over, and then maybe you put up various pictures of yourself from your portfolio, because I think they would get people's attention, and then maybe they would contact you. Do you try to work Twitter to get some interviews?
Yeah, I mean, like I've asked people on Facebook who I should interview.
But do you actively go on Twitter and put out tweets looking for guests?
Yeah, I mean, like I've tweeted like directly to people for like to see if they wanted to be a guest.
Yeah, and they say yes, and then it's just and then the chase is on. Pretty much is what you're saying.
Yeah, usually like if I do it through Twitter, they don't respond unless they know who I am. So like I'm trying to find like other ways to contact them. Like I'd rather contact them through email.
Yeah.
That's like more, I guess, more professional, I guess.
Well, Jeff, I don't know. Jeff, do you really think professionalism, like the channels in how you contact guests, you really think that plays a role in this, Jeff? Or, I mean, I know I have an advantage because I just, I got a little bit of a name, so I mean, I have a little bit of advantage. But outside of that, Jeff, what do you think?
I don't know. I think it would run into the same thing. When I sent an email to this girl to try to do a written, it was going to be a blog interview. This was before I had my own show, and I was just going to do an interview with her for a blog on the site. And she's just a cosplay girl. Like, she just goes to conventions, dresses in all these different characters, and she's got a decent following on Twitter. And so I said, I sent her the site. I'd like to do an interview. I think it'd be a good interview for our site. It might get your name in front of some new people. So somebody writes me back. I don't know if it was her or not. They wanted me to send them all these writing samples. It was just ridiculous. So I think the more professional people you get involved with, the more difficult it becomes, honestly, to get a guest, especially if they want to go through their agents or whatever. I think, maybe if, I mean, like, obviously with your contacts, you just already know people. And I've been playing off of that, honestly. That's how I met Zach, was through you. But I think the big deal is if you get somebody that knows of the site, knows who Vince is, sees Sarah's first show, and you just kind of have an informal, hey, I'd like you to come on the show. I don't know. I think that would work better. That's just my opinion. I really don't have any facts to back that up.
Hey, Sarah, you know what's one thing I can do? I can do this for you. I have, I think I have like over 150 followers that are like verified. Okay? So what I'm going to do there is I am going to send you their Twitter handles so you can look at them and you can see, they follow me. So you can look at them, you can see what they're doing, you can see what they do, get a little bit of the background, and then maybe you can send them a Twitter saying that you have a show on Vince Russo's channel. I know you follow him. I'd love to have you as on a guest. Yada yada yada. You think that would work? You want to try something like that?
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, Sarah, listen, do you feel comfortable? I want to give you the stage for a minute, because a lot of people now, this show is going to be free, so we're going to get thousands of people to look at this show. Potential guests for Dirty Talk with Sarah Russi. Do you feel comfortable giving a little bit of a sales pitch of why they should come on Dirty Talk and why they should talk to you? And what it would mean to their lives and their careers. Do you feel comfortable doing that?
Okay, well, the first reason they should come on the show is because I'm in, like, my lingerie, and I mean, like, if they need more of a reason, I mean, I have
Sarah, give them a little bit of a background. Tell them your age. Tell them about the modeling. Tell them a little bit about that first. Go ahead.
So I'm 22 years old, and I've been doing glamour modeling for about 5 years now.
Okay, and Sarah, you might have to say, listen, you might have to say this, okay? I'm 22 years old and I don't have a boyfriend, and then go on with the rest of the stuff. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you really want me to say I don't have a boyfriend?
Just say they don't know, Sarah. They don't listen, Sarah. These when they see this, they're gonna see you. They're not gonna be able to. They're not gonna listen to every word. So it doesn't matter what you say. So say my name is Sarah Russi. I'm 22 years old, and by the way, I don't have a boyfriend. And then give us the credentials. Let us know what you do for a living. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, my name is Sarah Russi. I'm 22 years old, and I do glamour modeling for a living. I've been doing it for 5 years now, and you should do an interview with me because I'll be wearing my lingerie.
And I don't have a boyfriend. And I don't have a boyfriend.
And I don't have a boyfriend.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Sarah, more. You got to give us more. Come on, give us more.
Well, I have 200,000 Facebook followers, so anyone who does a show with me, there will be people watching.
Yeah, and also, Sarah, give them your credentials. Tell them who you interviewed as a guest. Tell them you've had famous people on the show. Give us a little bit of a background.
So for my first episode of my show, I wore this string bikini top, and I interviewed Mike from Alien Ant Farm.
Wait, see, Sarah, now you're on the right track, but you gotta describe the bikini a little bit. A string bikini top, very floozy, flimsy. I had a problem keeping it on. Just that type of stuff. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay. So for my first episode of Dirty Talk, I interviewed Mike from Alien Ant Farm in a very small blue string bikini.
Go ahead.
And the interview went really well, and it was really fun. And I'm looking for more guests.
And Sarah, let me give. I'm going to give Sarah a big plug here, and then Jeff, I want you to give her a big plug. Okay, this is what I'm going to say about Sarah Russi, because I like Sarah very much, and I'll tell you why I like Sarah. And Jeff, I think you'll agree with this. First of all, Jeff, listen, Sarah, I'm 55 years old, so let's get this perfectly straight. I'm even too old to be your father. You're too young to be my daughter, so I could be your grandfather almost. Let me get that straight. But, Jeff, how many girls, let's talk to the guys out there, you and me, Jeff, the musicians watching this show, the actors watching this show, the businessmen watching this show. Jeff, how many times when you and I were 22 years old, first of all, did you ever see a girl that looked like Sarah Russi? I've never seen a girl that looked like Sarah. I think Sarah is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And I've worked, Sarah, I work with divas and I work with knockouts, and I think Sarah is so naturally beautiful. But Jeff, forget all that. How many beautiful girls that look like this have the personality of Sarah? When you're this beautiful, you don't have to talk to anybody. You could blow everybody off. You could put your nose up in the air. But Sarah's personality is as beautiful as she is. That's what I love about her, Jeff. You know what I'm saying. How many times were you turned down by women who looked half of what Sarah looks like?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Especially a lot of beautiful women tend to be cocky and have attitudes, and they're better than everybody else. And you don't get that from Sarah. The way she interviewed Mike, very professional, very entertaining, respectful. Asked very good questions. And I got to say this because specifically your tagline, "Are you guys idiots?" That's perfectly fitting. If you're watching this show and Sarah had asked you to be one of her guests and you didn't respond, seriously, are you an idiot?
Okay, now, Sarah, we got to get it's Jeff, me and you are idiots because we're talking and we're on the screen and Sarah isn't on the screen. She's only on when she talks. Okay, Sarah, so listen, we're going to give these nimrods another chance. They've seen you. You're beautiful. You got a beautiful personality. Now, if there are any legitimate guests out there, if you've done something, and it could be anything. Sarah, like I could hook you up with a million wrestlers, but, you don't want to talk wrestling talk. You could be in a band, you could be an actor, you could be a businessman. There are so many backgrounds of interesting people out there. Sarah, if somebody thinks they have a story and they would be an interesting guest and they'd love to share your company, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
They can just reach me on Twitter or Facebook.
Give them your addresses, Sarah.
It's just Sarah Russi.
And what's Facebook? What's the Facebook address?
It's just Sarah Russi. I have 2 pages.
And 200,000 followers, correct?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And Sarah, listen, I'm going to say this too to all the guys out there. And listen, Jeff and I weren't born yesterday. We're both East Coast guys. So now that you saw Sarah, don't email Sarah that you're somebody and you want to do the show if you're not somebody, because Jeff and I we're gonna screen the people that want to come on Sarah's show. But Jeff, if they're legitimate, let them write to you as well, and then we'll pass them on to Sarah. How do they get a hold of you, Jeff?
Yeah, if you want to be on this show, or you know somebody that wants to be on the show, and I'm not, no offense, but just not anybody, somebody that deserving to be a guest, go ahead and send me an email. It's right under my name there. That's the email I use for business, Jeff Lane's email at gmail.com. And if it's a legitimate guest and I can verify it, we'll pass it on to Sarah.
Yeah, and you can write to me. I'll look at all guests for Sarah too. Official Vince Russo at gmail.com. I'll be happy to look at all guests for Sarah. Now, Sarah, is there anything else we can do to promote you? Because, Sarah, I want you to talk about this a little bit before we go. I was very disappointed that you were in some contest And I know, like, everybody from the brand was voting for you, and you were running away with it. I was checking the numbers; it wasn't even close. And then they tell you that you didn't win the contest. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think you got robbed.
I think so too. They deleted like some of my votes, and like they didn't delete like the other girls' votes. And like then when other people were like voting for me, they were telling me that their votes weren't like going through or their votes weren't being counted, and like they would go to the contest page, or I mean their Facebook page, and tell them that was going on, and they didn't delete their comments. But like someone wrote like a mean comment about me, and they didn't delete that.
Sarah, did you ever get to talk to anybody about that, or was that all through email and whatnot?
No, I met the person who runs the contest before, and I actually did a test video shoot with them, and they told me they would like look it over and see if they would hire me for it. And this was like 2 months ago, so I think they like owe me that.
Well, see, Sarah, I got to ask you this now. Wait, listen, you got robbed. I don't care what these guys say. I saw the numbers, and you were running away with it. But Sarah, I kind of get the impression you're so nice and so sweet. Like when you question them about this, like did you get mad? Like I don't really picture you as
I didn't
being
question them about it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I just like other people. I think I had like 10 people like complaining that the votes weren't going through.
But Sarah, do you get mad? Like I can't vision you getting mad. Do you get mad?
Yeah, I got really mad.
All right, good. Because yeah, that was what Jeff. I was tracking the numbers. The other girls weren't even close. Next thing she knows, oh, we lost half the votes.
Yeah, I thought that the number looked lower than it did the previous day one time, and then people started tweeting that the number had dropped. So yeah, I mean, I totally saw it. It seemed to me like I thought she had more votes than that, and then the number was lower. It's a work, man. That must have been an inside job.
Yeah, well, probably what it was they probably thought that Sarah would cost them too much because of how beautiful and how nice she is. Hey, Sarah, is there anything else like we can be doing now to promote you? Anything else like that we could be doing to help you on your end?
Well, I'm not in any contests right now, but if I have like new professional photos, if you want, you can retweet them.
You have what now?
If
Yeah.
I have what?
Wait, say that again. Say that again. I didn't understand what you said.
If I have like a new professional photo, it would help if you could retweet that.
Oh, okay. So where would we find the photo, on Facebook or on Twitter?
I could just tag you in it.
Okay, yeah, no, do that. Hey, so Sarah, you don't have a website though per se?
I do. It's just my name and then .com.
Okay, but do you put all the newest pictures and everything up on that?
Yeah, I haven't updated it in a while though.
Well, how come? You should update. Why haven't you updated it?
I should. I don't know. I've just like gotten busy, but I will do that.
Do you have any big jobs coming up?
No, I've planned some photo shoots. I'm just trying to do like a lot of photo shoots to expand my portfolio, because a lot of my photos are like from when I had blonde hair, and I want like to do some like new stuff. I want to do like edgier type of stuff, not just lingerie, but I want to like also do other things.
Well, Sarah, listen, we look forward to that. We're gonna retweet those new pictures you put out there. And again, listen, if you have a story to tell, if you think you're a star, if you think you're worthy of being on Dirty Talk with Sarah Russi, you can send Sarah a Twitter. You can reach her on Facebook, but just know that she's going to come to me, and then I'm going to have to go through it and make sure that you're totally legit. You can get in touch with Jeff, or you can get in touch with Vince Russo, officialvincerusso@gmail.com. Jeff, any more last words of advice for Sarah?
They'll come. Honestly, they'll come. If they see the first show, they see how awesome that is, the reach that you have. the audience size that you have, they'll eventually come. So, Brand, again, send Sarah suggestions. Tweet Sarah with who you would like to see on her show, and maybe we can get some of those people on as well.
All right, Sarah, and as we wrap up, I'm going to let you wrap it up with one last sales pitch to bring on some guests and to send us home. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay. Well, you guys should interview me and do some dirty talk with me. I'll be waiting in my lingerie.
Oh, wait, say that again. What was that last thing?
I'll be waiting in my lingerie.
That's money right there. Who would turn that down? That's money right there.
Now, Jeff, why do I feel that if you said that same line, it wouldn't have the same effect?
I don't know, Vince. Have you seen me in lingerie?
No, I haven't, and I really don't want to. But everybody, it's Dirty Talk with Sarah Russi. Sarah, we're going to get you a guest by next week. How about that? I guarantee we're going to have you a guest by next week. We're going to have episode 2 of Dirty Talk with Sarah Russi. You could check out her first episode, Mike Cosgrove, the drummer of Alien Ant Farm. Some great stories because Sarah personally knew him. You could check that out on the brand right now. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Let's all help Sarah. Let's find her some guests, and we'll catch everybody on the rebound.